Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Two major upsets in the co-main and main. What the hell happened at UFC 323? Let's talk about it.
So, listen, man, we got both of our predictions wrong, and I'm not gonna lie to you. In a weird way, I'm kind of glad we got it wrong. Let's first talk about Joshua Vance versus Pantoja. So, as a lot of you guys saw, there was a lot of controversy with this one because essentially what happened is Pantoja injured himself mid-fight. Some people say shoulder, some people say elbow. My buddy here says it looks like an elbow injury more than anything else. Elbow kind of bent in the wrong way. When he was taken down to the ground, falling, all that kind of good stuff. So, because of that, listen, Mans couldn't really continue as he wanted to continue, and Joshua Van ended up getting the victory. And first of all, in the previous video we did talking about these two fights, we said, hey, listen, Joshua Van has to capitalize on this bad boy because if he doesn't capitalize, people are going to call what happened initially a fluke. But, man, did this boy capitalize. And good for him, man. This is a dude that not related to UFC and fighting. He says that he lives with his mama because he's taking care of his mama. He overall seems like a good dude, just a hardworking man himself. And this is the break that somebody like that needed to pull their family out of the ghetto, out of the gutter, out of a tough situation in which, listen, man, maybe now he can take care of his family even better. So I love it. Love to see it. Love to see these people that truly need a hand up, get that hand up. And listen, like I said, Joshua Van needed to capitalize, and boy, did he capitalize. So I'm glad to see it. I'm sure everybody's going to ask for a run back because even though, Pantoja lost because of an injury, so to speak. Listen, this is a fight game. Injuries are going to happen, whether you guys like it or not. Some people are going to say it's a BS one. We've already seen people making that point online. But listen, if an injury happens in the fight game, it's part of the game. It's all happening within the fight realm. So an injury, an eye poke, and blah, 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 blah. These are all things that unfortunately happen, and we have to live by those. So the fact that Pantoja lost via that because of that injury, or at least the fact that his performance because of the injury, I'm not mad at it. Van didn't do anything wrong. Van capitalized on his opportunity, and he got what he needed. The belt, plus now moving forward, he's going to make champion money. Good for him. Happy to see it, even though I like Pantoja. Either way, I wasn't mad at being wrong on this one. I did pick Pantoja to win. But listen, if we're being honest, man, yes, Pantoja lost, but did he lose? Again, injury, it happens. But we live in reality. So, good on Joshua Vance taking advantage of that. What do you think about that, my man?
I think people are going to be in their feelings because everybody believed that Alexander Pantoja was the GOAT at flyweight. And again, there is a lot of arguments to make for that case. And again, an injury happening with this in the first 26 seconds of the first round, I can understand. This is going to be absolutely disappointing for everybody involved. Pantoja didn't lose, he lost, but he didn't actually lose. He didn't lose legitimately. And Joshua Van got a victory off of what everybody feels or believes is going to be a fluke. And everybody's going to have their own opinion about that. Our opinion is going to be, it's not going to be an illegal strike. There's no groin strikes. There's no eye pokes. There's nothing dirty about that. Unfortunately, it's just one of those freak things that happens. And Pantoja, unfortunately, again, like you said, it's part of the fight game. It's a dirty business. It is what it is. It's one of those things you have to account for, yet you can't unaccount for. It's just, it is what it is. That being said, for Joshua Van in 1 year to hop skip the rankings, go over past number 1 and number 2, even over number 10, getting a chance at championship gold and being handed it to this on a silver platter in the span of 1 year, dog, man, this has got to be a lottery ticket win for Joshua Van. And my advice for Joshua Van is, Take this and sip the champagne of gold, but guess what? Get in the hyperbolic time chamber and train your ass off because every single flyweight from rank 10 to rank number 1 is going to come after your head. But for tonight, hey, it's a champagne of victory, brother. Drink it up. Now, what are we talking about on the main?
And listen, man, now on the main, we got this one, Rob, too. We said, and I got it more wrong than he did, so I'll be fair on that. I said I didn't think there was any way that Peter Yan could do it. My man here said he basically believed that if Peter Yan could come in and put Merab on his ass, put him on the canvas, that could be the one way. And I agreed. I fully agreed. I didn't think it was possible, but I agreed. That being said, oh man, Peter came to fight, y'all. Peter came to fight. That boy did not let up the entire time. I mean, even so much as slamming Merab on his head, picked up the perfect takedown in that particular moment. And I'll be honest with you, some people pointed this out, and I actually did notice it as well. It was looking a little bit like Merab was gassed by round 5, which is kind of weird because that's not the normal Merab that we're used to seeing. But listen, it happened. It's there. It's one of those concepts where it's part of the fight game. It is what it is. And again, shout out to Peter Yan, man, because Peter Yan brought his A game. I'm still a big fan of Merab. Still, want to see that boy get back on top. In fact, an immediate third fight is what should happen. Merab won the first one. Peter won this one. And that does not spell a trilogy, especially after such a performance by Peter Yan, because Peter Yan went in there and pieced him up. Part of the reason I believe that maybe Merab was having such a hard time with the gas tank, because normally Merab has an unholy gas tank, is because Peter Yan did it looked like Peter Yan did break Merab's nose. I'll throw some pictures up, and because of that, at least my belief is that maybe Merab was having a little bit more of a difficult time breathing in and out, getting that deep breath that I'm sure you can normally get. That's just one speculation. Obviously, apart from that, Peter Yan did phenomenal work, pieced him up quite well, wrestled with him quite well. There was a couple takedowns by Peter Yan as well that looked phenomenal, apart from that, putting him on his head type shit. Again, listen, I have absolutely no wrong in admitting when I have no problem in admitting when I was wrong, and I was definitely wrong about this one. I didn't think that Peter Yan was going to be able to piece enough striking together to make Merab question him, and I'm not even going to lie. If we're keeping it 100%, go back to the Sean O'Malley fight, their first fight with Merab. Near the end of the fight, to be fair, Sean O'Malley started throwing some kicks to the midsection of Merab, and it looks like it stung him quite a bit. I think now, given this fight, Peter Yan did that a couple times as well, and it did look like it hurt Merab a lot. That being said, I think we have found the Achilles heel of Merab, and it happens to be the midsection. That's another good reason why the gas tank could have potentially been compromised by Peter Yan. Either way, whatever game plan Peter put together, it worked phenomenally. It worked great. Looking at Merab before and after the fight, you can clearly tell old boy took a beating. Respect to Merab for going all the way, because he did go all the way. And as far as Peter Yan, man, hey, good on you for proving me wrong, big dog, because I did not see this coming at all. What do you think about that, my man?
A lot of things to be said in the lead up to this fight. Again, Merab Dvalishvili, this would be his 4th title defense throughout the year. Not even in the span of 2 years, but in the span of 1 year. So there's reasons to believe there could be an Alex Pereira / Magomed Ankalaev situation where it could very well be that having that many fights within the entire year could pretty much have played a factor into this matchup. But again, that's something to consider if and when the rematch does get made. Hopefully there's a lot more of a time span for Merab to heal up and hopefully be in better position in the 3rd fight. But let's talk about this fight for the time being. Peter Yan absolutely did crack Merab's nose. I believe it was in the 1st or 2nd round. And again, like you said, the mid-cracking midsection kick that Peter Yan delivered to Merab Dvalishvili could have very well compromised his breathing. And again, a lot of journalists, I even noted, a lot of journalists did say round 5 Merab that we've seen in the past versus round 5 Merab that we've seen in this fight, it's a different character entirely. Merab, for the very first time and probably the longest time in his career, absolutely looked gassed out. And I'll even give credit to Yan here. Merab tried to go for, I think it was on record to be 27 takedowns, and Yan pretty much stuffed 95% of them. And again, it's impressive for Yan to be having that Olympic level of wrestling reversal defense. But again, most of the story that was told throughout this matchup was Yan's striking. And again, I did say in the initial, you need to have firepower to stop a machine like Merab. And guess what? I was right on that end. I was wrong that I didn't think Yan was going to have that. I'll admit to you guys. But I did say firepower is what you need to stop Merab. And Yan proved it in his matchup. Yan had the firepower to stop it. And he hit it in the exact right points. In the same way that the weak points were hit on the Death Star, guess what? Yan found those weak points on Merab and absolutely killed it in this matchup. And he won by unanimous decision. Congrats to Yan on this one. Merab, I hope you a speedy recovery, and I hope you have a lengthy recovery for this one, because you're going to need it in the trilogy fight.
Yeah, man, listen, what I don't want to see is some people were already suspecting what was going to happen is Sugar Sean is going to face Yang Sedong, that's what it is. Was going to face Yang Sedong and then immediately ask for a shot at the title, which, listen, man, Sugar Sean admitted it himself on a recent podcast. His stock has gone down. I don't want to see that. What needs to be made is Merab v. Yan 3. That needs to be made. You got to give Merab respect for defending as many times as he did this year. If that doesn't happen, if he doesn't get an immediate title shot, BS. I call BS on Dana White. And let's be honest, it's not past Dana White to be that type of person. Dana White is that POS that he would more than likely give Sugar Sean a shot before Merab gets a shot back at his title. But listen, it is what it is. It was a phenomenal fight. I'm glad that I was proven wrong only because, listen, man, this shakes up the division because one of the questions that I was asking in the previous analysis of the fight was, if Merab does beat Peter Yan, who's he going to face next? Because he's kind of lapping the division. So now, hey, look, we're interested again. It's exciting again. Now we have something to look forward to again. So good on Peter Yan for shaking it up a little bit, keeping us interested. I'm all here for it, man. It was a great night of fights. So many good fights, so many upsets, so many surprise endings. But listen, man, that's part of the reason why we like the fight game so much. You love to see all these things happen and not know what's gonna happen at the very end. So it was super cool to see a lot of this stuff happen. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.